We're here this afternoon with Ryan Hayes, one of our reclamation specialists. Ryan, happy to have you.
Glad to be here.
Discussion. Can you give me a little bit of your background?
Sure.
Before you got to Bamert.
So I grew up in Brownwood, Texas, and then went to school at Texas A&M. I did my undergraduate degree in rangeland ecology and management. And then after I graduated, I worked for a couple of years I worked for about a year with the environmental company doing soil reclamation, soil testing there in College Station, and then worked for 2 years with AgriLife Research in the rangeland department, helping graduate students do their research out in West Texas and Kansas and several states, just depending on where their work was going on. And then had the opportunity to go to work for the Texas Railroad Commission in the Surface Mining Division, working in that as an agronomist for about a year. And then I had spent about 2 years in Williamson County as an ag appraiser with the appraisal district there. And then I started a career where I spent most of my career with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension. Started in the range department, working on watershed management, rangeland watershed management, and water conservation. And then switched over to the wildlife department and worked with trying to reestablish and reclaim Bermuda grass pastures back into native grasslands for grassland bird purposes, habitat. And then I went on to the Institute of Renewable Natural Resources, which is now the Natural Resource Institute, and did a lot of work with them, working with private landowners, primarily a lot to deal with endangered species and habitat management. And that included planting native grasses, prescribed fire, brush management, things along those lines. And then I had the opportunity to follow you at Noble Research Institute as a range consultant for a couple of years. And then I've been here with Bamert for just almost 2 years now.
It's been 2 years. Time
Near
flies.
March 1st, be 2 years.
Time flies when you're having fun.
That's right.
Brian's pretty varied and diverse background, a lot of knowledge and experiences you bring to the table across several different industries. But how do you feel that background allows you to serve our customers?
I think just the different experiences I've had and the opportunities to work with landowners. I always say one of the best jobs I ever had was being an ag appraiser because nobody liked you. You know, you were the bad guy. You're the tax guy when you really weren't. You were just appraising. I was just saying yes or no in your wildlife valuation or ag valuation. So learning how to deal with people and kind of read people and understand where they're coming from. And then the background in working with private landowners in Texas as a private land state, in Oklahoma as well. Just knowing the issues they have and trying to understand the ability to talk to them and see what their goals are. They want to graze livestock? Are they more interested in wildlife? What their management skills may be? And really, I just think it's I like people. I like working with people, and I think my background helps me quite a bit every day on several calls a day. It's just to be able to relate to that producer, even if it's the point is like, you know, you say you want to buy something, but do you know what you have? You may not need to buy anything. You may just need a little management and rest, as you know. And a lot of those native plants are resilient and they'll still be there if you give them time to express themselves. So it's not always about selling them something, but it's helping educate them, I think, to me, is what I like about this position.
Yeah. So you said almost 2 years?
Yep.
2 years in March?
2 years in March.
You know, you've had contact with native seed companies, previous work,
Yep.
And we're aware of Bamert and the Bamerts
Yes.
and other companies. But what surprised you the most when you first got here?
So, you know, Rob, I've been here before at the headquarters. Of course, we'd come on a sandhill crane hunt 3 or 4 years ago now. That's been that long ago. But we got the quick tour here of the facilities, and it was very impressive then. To look at it now in the 2 years I've been here, what's been added just on the seed cleaning side and the facilities out here and the staff that run all of that's impressive. I think I did not have an idea how big the farms are and all the work and the time and effort that's required to produce those quality native seeds. So I'm impressed with that. And then getting here just really impressed with the people inside and outside. Great team. Feels like family.
Yeah, agreed. So with you come with a lot of experience and a pretty diverse web of contacts and folks that you know from very different industries. But what are some of the common questions you get asked about your job that from folks that say, Brian, why'd you go to Bamert, and what do you do?
That's a good question, and those I can think of 3 or 4 different questions, but I'll try to just throw out a few. A lot of people did wonder why, and part of it is a new you, and it was a good opportunity. I do work remotely from my house in Ardmore, although I come about once a quarter for a week out here, and then get to come here to Muleshoe. So I just think it was a great opportunity because I knew I'd be able to work with people and work with a good group of family. I'd known Nick Bamert before from some state level meetings, committee meetings we're on together, and always thought highly of Nick, and just thought it was a good opportunity for me to really be able to work on a good team, and not that any of the other ones I've been at weren't, but just the opportunity to work daily basis with a lot of producers.
Sure.
And then the other questions that I get, like just today, somebody's, hey, if I order this today, would I get it in 2 weeks? I'm like, no, you get it, it'll ship tomorrow. And they're like, I can't believe that. And it's like, that is impressive. I mean, a big order that these guys will get blended, 10-way blend, and it'll ship tomorrow, and they'll have it by Thursday. So that always impresses a lot of people, it seems like to me. And I don't know how the other companies do that, but I think that's something we should be proud of, that we can move product that quick.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, so to kind of expand on that, kind of from your perspective, what's the dynamic of those 3 different parts that we consider within the company: production, warehouse, and sales? What's the dynamic of how those all work together, and what value do each of those bring to the whole?
Oh, I think it brings a tremendous value just because of first the working relationship among all the 3, if you want to call it 3 teams. I mean, everybody. You can see us in the morning when we get here and, have coffee and visit and talk about what everybody's doing and things that might be coming. Hey, Manuel might have this big order, I think, and they're going to want it, and you learn, I think I've learned that after being here, it's communication, that good communication allows us to move smoothly and effortlessly. But I think with the team leaders you have here that they've really got it run smoothly. And I think it's based on that communication amongst the departments or the teams that allows that to happen.
Yeah, communication is key.
It is. Yep. Yes.
Yeah. So what questions do you get people ask, what do you do? You sell Native Seed, what do you do? What's the most common question you get?
Yeah, I guess that's it, because it is. I don't consider it as a salesman. I consider more as, we call it reclamation specialist or a consultant. I honestly tell everybody about 50% of our calls are customers that have been customers a long time, that are contractors that are planning right-of-ways or whatever it may be. And they'll call up and say, I need this blend for this county or this Bureau of Land Management blend number 2. The other third or even 40% is producers that, hey, I just bought 200 acres, what I need to plant. And that's where that consultation, I think, and that's where all of our team's background comes in as well. What are your goals? What do you have there now? What class of livestock are you going to run? If you're going to run livestock, or are you just interested in wildlife habitat? So those are the big questions. There's like, what are it's more of an education or consultation, I think. And at the end of the day, if they purchase seed, that's great. And if they don't, if we help them meet their goals, I think that's great too.
So from your role with the company and your experience so far, what excites you the most for the future of Bamert Seed Company and maybe the industry, the native seed industry as a whole?
I'm going to start with the industry as a whole first. And I think, and this is just my opinion, I think there's great opportunity in the native grass seed industry. As you see a lot of these renewable energies, solar farms, and they're planting back, and they want to go back with natives and pollinator species. As soil health has picked up over the last few years, and people wanting to go back to native. And I think carbon credits, carbon marketing may have some potential coming forward, where native plants are going to play a big role in that. And I think, as you know, Rob, in the next 10 to 15 years, we'll probably have the biggest generational shift in landowners in the state. As our landowners now, I think the average age is late 60s. So I think a lot of these folks that are going to be inheriting the properties or people that are buying the properties have that more of a wildlife habitat conservation ethic, if you will, and want to have native pastures and native grasslands. And so I think that provides a lot of opportunity. And I think from the Bamert side, I think we're well positioned for that with the production capabilities we have, with the seed cleaning facilities and the equipment we have and the staff. We have a great opportunity to meet that demand that I think will be coming.
Great. So is there anything that you think folks ought to know that we hadn't discussed, that we hadn't touched on from your perspective, and as far as your role here or the company or the industry?
No, I would just encourage anybody that has questions to call us or come see us. Rob, Nicholas, Jamie, we're on the road. We'll be at different events. We're usually always at all the agriculture events. We're trying to be more now at some of these green energy events and just have our presence there to be able to answer these questions that folks may have. We get it. Jamie and I got it at an oil and gas show last year. Why are y'all here? Why is a seed company here? And we're like, when y'all put in a pipeline or need to reclaim a pad, what do y'all do? Oh, we buy seed. Yeah. We just want y'all to be aware of us and be here to answer any questions you may have. And one thing I didn't mention, I think that and it may have been mentioned by some of the other guys, is the SeedSpec app that's available now that helps a producer or a private company be able to develop a blend of commercially available seeds, grass and forbs, and it picks the variety that'll work in your location where you've drawn your area of interest on the map. I think that lends us well in a good position as well to be a leader in the native seed business.
Yeah, agreed. And that's at
seedspec.com.
Yeah, great. That is a good tool, and they can be valued to everybody. But appreciate your time.